gonna Alfredo me to death, sis. You really not? I'm sick and tired of this shit, yo. You not gonna Alfredo me to death, sis. Chicken Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo, tilapia Alfredo, salmon Alfredo. I'm tired. Watch the Food Network. Learn a new meal. Us black men is getting tired. Alfredo this, Alfredo that. Jambalaya Alfredo, spicy Alfredo, sweet Alfredo. Make some of those. Make some of those.
I'm too hyped up, bro. I done got myself all worked up.
I made sure that you cannot overstep that bound. You cannot do that. That is your parent. It doesn't matter. You can talk to them any way you want as long as it's respectful.
I go with it.
You got it.
So this video right here, which I've been in this position. Father talking to his son. Apparently, the son has said something to the mother, maybe been disrespectful. Not maybe, it's apparent. And I've been in this situation, maybe not as aggressive, but I do understand this is when it comes to a young boy and the mom, and maybe even when you're talking to women, period, you need to know that there needs to be a level of respect, but especially with mom. So this video is just the dad telling the son, listen, you're not going to disrespect mom, and if you disrespect mom, it's like disrespecting me. And I think he's getting his message across pretty good. So we can go ahead and see this.
This is why fathers matter.
Person at her, telling her what you won't do. You won't clean the room. You won't do what you want to do. And you talk to your mother. Like, do you think you tough, little man? Talk to me like you talk to your mother. Talk to me. You think you tough, don't you? What's up for me? Cut me out. Tell me what you do. I dare you. I dare you. You ain't gonna do it to me. Why you do it to her? Why you talk to her disrespectfully? Why? Why do you talk to your mother disrespectfully? You don't know why you do it. Today I'm gonna help you find out why. And today it ends. Today it ends. Do you understand? You will not call your mother out of her name ever again.
And that is a perfect example. That is a perfect example of why a man is needed in the house. And I'm not saying that every man has a reason, some people don't want to be there. It's a shame. There's things where the guy is acting a fool and he needs to leave. I get it. That's an angle. There is a thing where sometimes the women will push the men out. It goes both ways. But when two get together and it works, this is the outcome. Parents have their allegiance together. For the moment, it's if your mom says no, the answer is no. Don't come and ask me. If I say no, the answer is no. Don't go and ask her. You know what I mean? Is if you don't, you do not talk to your mom in a I don't care if you don't like your mom. You don't disrespect her like that. You don't call her out of her name. That is the person who gave birth to you. You may not like her. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm in love with my mom, but you'll never hear me call her out her name. I've never done that. And I wouldn't. And my mom's way shorter than me and she really can't do no much. But that's a level of respect you have to have. And his father is showing, his father is backing up the mom. They're showing a unified family front on how you should behave. So when he goes out into the world, he's going to understand that he should not be talking to other women like that. So that's what that father is instilling in him. And not only that, but he sounds like he's talking to his kid, because I know I've said things like this. You don't even clean your room and you want to talk like that? You didn't do your chores and you want to act like, yeah, He was going in, and when I say going in, I don't mean it like the new way of going, but he was handling the part that he needed to handle at that moment in time. And that's what I felt in this. And the son understood that authority because you see, he's sitting up straight. He is, I don't know. He knows why he did it because he thought that mom gave the impression that he could do that. But dad walked in and said, mom didn't give that impression. This is the way you treat mom. And this is how you should treat your mother. Not the way you handled it.
He's not going to come in here and act up or whatever. Because again, if I got to come from work, and this is going to stand until the day that I drop, if I got to come from work to don't do it, because you know what I'm saying, you're not going to disrespect me, and you are not going to disrespect my wife. You are not going to disrespect my wife. Yes, you are my child, but you're not going to disrespect my wife, because that is the only somebody on this earth right now that makes sure that I'm good, that I'm protected, that she makes me know that she cares about me and that everything else under the sun, because I'm not going to allow any harm to come to her and any disrespect to come to her from no man, woman, boy, or child. I don't care if it's a dog, cat, or a turkey or a turducken. You're not going to disrespect my wife. Simple as that. So, yeah.
But the person that you're not going to disrespect is the person that helped me create you. Like, they helped me create you. You're getting ready to call them out their name. You're getting ready to do all this. Listen, like I said, we can talk about it, but don't make me have to get too pissed off at you by the way you're talking about this here. Do you know what I mean? Don't. Not only is she my wife, my girlfriend, or whatever it is that we made you with, but we made you. You would not be here if it wasn't for her and me.
Bro, she did all the work. Like, you better.
Nah, nigga, I did all the work. I did all the work, nigga.
For about 5 minutes. And then
That's why I got a bad back. I did all the work.
There you go. But the thing about this one is that this was a prime example of why men who, now there's certain circumstances where men have a hard time and something happens. There are the minority of that, but a lot of them are men who don't want to take care of their kids. And it goes both ways, because I've met women that don't want to do it either. I know I've got generations of that, but we're talking about guys right here. In this one, this is why he is needed. That's the reason why that father is needed. That's one of the reasons why it seems like that father, I'm willing to bet that father's in the house. He probably came home and his wife told him.
Crazy thing is, even if he's not in the house, it makes it 10 times doper if he's not in the house, because if you know what I'm saying, if you have a good enough rapport, yeah, all right, we ain't together, but if you got a good enough relationship and rapport, like we do still have to raise this child, and says, you know what, I'm gonna call your father in to help in with this situation. You know what I'm saying? That's dope right there, because they have that type of relationship where she understands that I can't teach you to be a man, and I can't teach you how to treat women. I can only teach you how I want to be treated. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm gonna call your father in on this. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know, the mother could have resorted to, oh, you know what, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass. But what is that gonna accomplish? Because that's gonna make him resent you more, because now he still doesn't have any respect for you. Or you're gonna hit me, because eventually that young man is gonna grow to be a boy. That boy or that boy's gonna grow to be a young man. That young man's gonna grow to be a big young man. And then he's going to be taller than his mother, thinking that, oh, now your hits don't hurt me anymore. You understand what I'm saying? But when his father came on the scene and got in his face and said, yo, what do you think you're doing? Really? Try that with me. Try that with me. You understand what I'm saying? And now here's what the beautiful thing is. You have to break things down that are not fully developed in order to build it up to be stronger. Okay? So what I'm hoping is after that conversation that that father had with his son, he broke him down in that moment. You understand what I'm saying? To let him know, you ain't that bad, bro. What my hope is that after the fact, he sat down with him after he did his apology and what have you, and build him up and say, listen, son, this is why we don't do that. This is your mother. You get one and you don't disrespect her. Your mother is the one that's taking care of you. Your mother is doing this for you. Your mother's doing that for you. You understand what I'm saying? Build him up after that. That is how you create a man right there.
That I'm not with. I don't know if this kid has been doing this. Like, this is not a first time. Maybe he's been doing this, and maybe the dad is like, yo, he's like fed up, and that's why he's at that level. Because I'm not at. I have these conversations, but it's not as aggressive, and it's very effective because, like I will be very in my son's face, and he will cry without even getting to that level. But maybe this little kid has been doing this, and the dad is like, yeah. But the fact that yes, so the fact that if you're going to go 10, right, then you need to go and then sit down with him and be at maybe just a calmer levels, because frightening, yes, it can be effective, but does it work long term? Not sure. In that moment, it works. Go ahead and just this kid is scared. This kid is scared. You can see he is shook.
And that's why you have to follow it up. It isn't just you don't put the period on it and walk away. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's the whole now I gotta fear my dad coming in, and that's gonna make him resent his father. That is not how you raise a man. After you broke him down, you put a pause on it, you let him marinate it, you let him cry, and then you come and you nurture him and you build him up, and you don't nurture him like a woman would do, you nurture him in a man's way. You understand? You say, listen, son, this is not what we do as a man. You know what I'm saying? This is not what you do.
And also we have to make sure the next generation treats women differently. So, I mean, however we got to do it. I mean, I'm not for the extra aggressive, but I am for making sure that the next generation of men are treating women properly. We can't keep perpetuating this old school way of the women are on the move. Women are getting where they need to be. They're not there yet, but I think it's very important that our men, our young boys, need to have proper respect for their equals, which are women.
The balance that we try to give our children is so hard to make them understand how to balance it. It is very difficult, but that all comes with time and with them getting into situations where they have to make this choice and say, what do I do? Do I snap on this female or this lady, or do I talk to her in a respectful way? Because if your mother comes at you after your father has had this conversation with you, and your mother comes at you, be like, boy, I'm gonna do this. And if you don't say, Mom, I understand, I apologize, I did something wrong, boom, boom, boom. Or if you say, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about, whatever, you're making a choice. You understand? You're gonna do again the same thing in the streets. You're gonna do the same thing when you go to school. When you have that female teacher and she's telling you, can you put your phone away and have a seat? I don't need to put my phone away. I'm calling my father. He's like, no. Because if one of my kids, even I don't give a fuck, if one of my kids told my teacher they ain't putting their phone away because they want to call me just to bitch about what their teacher did. If you don't hang this motherfucking phone up, get the hell away. It's my goddamn time. Get the fuck when you talk about this shit when you get goddamn home. They got to make a choice. So it's difficult to we can only give them the tools to hope that they make the right decisions and be able to take the parts of what we tell them to implement them in the situations that they encounter. That makes sense?
Yes, absolutely. Because I definitely, with that part, I definitely agree, because I always let my kids know I give them a lot of information. Everything that I give you, you're not going to take it all in. It takes a minute. You got to grow into it. But when certain situations arise, I want something in the back of your head to say, wait a minute.
My mama told me it's all or nothing, but I am not really worried. I am not overly concerned.
I might have heard a little bit about this before. You know what I mean? And sometimes that will steer you in the right direction. And the reason why I say that is because I was just telling you earlier, when sometimes I bombard them with so much. I know I do. I talk their heads off sometimes. But when they come home and they tell me about a situation that happened, and then they tell me the way they handled it, I sometimes can sit back and smile. And my kids have gotten to the point where they realize if dad does not say anything and he smiles, they'll be looking at me like, I got it right. Like, absolutely. Absolutely. You did it just right.
So what do we do with that? We put that in the blank book of parenting, and we write that in, and we say, you know what? What do we say, Bob? Best don't get published, right?
All day. Volume 1.
That's where you say, okay, they listened to me. They did it right. They made the right decision. Look, this is gonna work in the book of Parenting 101.